Hello, my name is Pedro Sanchez Bello, and my daughter, who is studying at the Sinclair School at Dayton, Ohio, asked me to send her a slide presentation about the metabolic syndrome. What is the metabolic syndrome? According to the concept given by Robert Eckel in the medical magazine Lancet, is a very common metabolic disorder in all over the world, and it includes many symptoms and signs, as for example, increase in insulin resistance, excessive flux fatty acids, and hypertension. And it is also a pro-inflammatory state that contributes to the syndrome. Well, what is the diagnostic criteria for establishing the disease? If a person has three of the next ones, they have the disease. One of them is the abdominal obesity. For men, to have more than 102 centimeters or 40 inches, and for women, more than 88 centimeters or 346 inches is one of them. Another is dyslipidemia. It could be cholesterol, the good cholesterol that is called HDL, that means high density lipoprotein, less than 40 milligram per deciliter in men, or less than 50 milligram per deciliter in women, or the triglycerides more than 150 milligrams per deciliters in both sexes, and hypertension if a person has more than 130 per 85 mHg, or to have a fasting glucose more than 110 milligrams per deciliter, or some tests that establish insulin resistance. Remember that this syndrome is a pro-inflammatory and a pro-coagulable state that can produces other complications. Well, as we mentioned before, the abdominal obesity is the most prevalent cause of the metabolic syndrome and related cardiometabolic risk, according to Jean-Pierre Deprez from the European Heart Journal Supplements. So it's very important not to have an excessive abdominal diameter. That's why there's a warning, because not only in the United States, but in many West countries, the obesity is a big problem. In the United States, according to the nationwide surveys, it's established that in the United States, the obesity has tripled over the last 60 years. According to the CDC, that is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the United States, in a study from August 21st to August 23rd, we can see the high prevalence of obesity in adults in the United States per group of age. We can see the highest rate in the population from goes to 40 to 59 years old, but also since people from the older than 20, it's a high prevalence of obesity, since the 34.3% in men and 36.8% in women. Also, according to the CDC again, the leading causes of death in the United States, the first 7 causes, we can see in this slide, it is heart diseases in the first place, cancer in the second place, accidents the third, COVID in the fourth, and in the fifth place is the strokes. As we can see, those diseases that are in that circle, heart disease, cancer, and strokes, are related to obesity. So, the most important question this is, what should we do then? We should treat the disease or prevent it. I think the most important in all diseases is prevent the disease. And how can we prevent it? Well, here are some tips. The first one, by eating better. We should eat whole grains, fruits, vegetables, skinless poultry, fish, and nuts. We'd better eat low fat or fat free dairy products, lean meats, and vegetable proteins. We should avoid processed foods, saturated and trans fats and sugar products, okay? And limit the amount of salt and red meat. Here are examples from junk food. We should avoid this kind of food. Instead of that, we should eat better healthy food, as we can see in this slide: fish or salmon, green vegetables, lettuce, avocado, whole grains, grapefruits, apples. Those are just an example. Also, another excellent recommendation is to get active. We should aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week. The diet and exercise are very important to prevent this disease. Finally, it's very important to learn how many calories we're eating and how many calories we're burning off with exercise. There's an application that is free and I recommend you. It's called Fat Secret. It's an easy way you can do this. Thank you for your attention.